Yeah, don't forget to log on to doggydiamondsnofilter.com. Doggydiamondsnofilter.com. Log on that daily. That's where you're going to catch all the new videos, all the new audio podcasts, as well as you can enter your email to be a part of this email blast that I'm going to start sending out of all the new content that you might miss. I'm going to make sure it comes directly to your email box. Yeah, make sure you go to doggydiamondsnofilter.com, fill out the contact form. Also, for only $100, I'll promote your content on Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, Threads, and doggydiamondsnofilter.com. Hit me up on Instagram at doggydiamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Let's get to it. So as you come on in, hit the like button. If you're watching this on the playback, hit the like button. That like button is essential. Hit that like. LIKES. Let those likes accumulate. Hit that like. I'm here. Here we go. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody who show love on a regular. To buy myself some new shades. I'm in the shades mood. Here I go. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggy Diamonds. This is Doggy Diamonds TV. Doggy Diamonds No Filter podcast. That's right, an actual audio podcast that can be heard on all your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Stitcher, SoundCloud, everywhere. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I see you in that chat room. I see you right through these Ray-Bans. I see you. I need my other pair of Ray-Bans. I'm getting tired of these brown ones a little bit. I think these are called Tortoise. That sounds like a sucker name. So we be like, yo, what kind of... I don't want to say, yo, I got on Tortoise. That don't sound too good to me. But I need my haircut. I will be getting my haircut tomorrow. Last night I was up to 6 in the morning working on music. I'm going to blow your mind. But I wanted to tackle this topic because today is the alleged anniversary of hip hop. August 11, 1973 was the day that they said hip hop was founded. Whatever. And I'm going to talk about it. So shout out to Mr. 85. Support the independent voice. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for the super chat. So, Complex made a list. Complex, y'all need me in that building. Y'all need somebody in that building who knows the culture from a different perspective, not from an old hair perspective, not from a young hair perspective, for somebody who's just right in the middle that can dibble and dabble and explain the old, the young, and the now. I think you need me up in the building, Complex. This is hip hop. Y'all be fucking up. Let me just say that. Y'all be fucking up. So what I'm going to do for y'all, I'm going to go through the list really quick. We're going to go to complex.com. I'm going to go through the list for y'all really, really quick and show y'all their list. And then we're going to cover the topic down there. We're going to cover the topic and I'm going to explain to you why Ice Spice being top 50 New York rapper of all time is a problem. Shout out to the young lady for making the list. Anyway, shout out to the young lady for making the list, but I'm going to explain to you tonight why that is a problem. So let's go. We'll go to complex.com. I guess we giving them love, right? I guess they make these lists kind of trolling us and then everybody reacts. So you can see number 50, Ice Spice. I'm not reading no descriptions or nothing. I'm just going to go through the list right quick from 50 to 1. And I'm going to tell you why her being number 50 is a problem. Number 50 is Ice Spice. Number 49 is Pharoah Monch. Now, this list, as you can see, let's put it in its proper context. 50 best New York rappers of all time ranked from 50 to 1. Again, 50 best New York rappers of all time ranked from 50 to 1. So we're starting at 50. You can see the people in the picture, so that could give you a little indication of who might be on this list. So we'll go from Ice Spice is number 50. Pharoah Monch is 49. Diddy is 48. 50 best rappers, New York of all time. Diddy is 48. Woo. Biz Markie, Styles P, Jim Jones is 45. Grand Puba is 44. Melly Mel is 43. Rah! Sean Price is 42. ASAP Rocky is 41. Kool Mo D is 40. Nori is 39. MC Light is 38. Ja Rule is 37. Kool Keith is 36. ODB is 35. Foxy Brown is 34. Jizza is 33. Fabulous is 32. Fat Joe is 31. Coogee Rap is 30. Big L is 29. Mace is 28. Pop Smoke is 27. So they're saying Pop Smoke is better than Pharoah Monch. Okay, let me just keep going. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke, my Brooklyn brethren, but yeah, okay. Raekwon is 26. Cardi B is 25. Q-Tip is 24. Run is 23. Chuck D is 22. 21 is Method Man. Slick Rick is 20. Big Daddy Kane is 19. Yasin Bey, a.k.a. Most Def, is 18. Cameron is 17. Jadakiss is 16. Big Pun is 15. The late great MF Doom, spell it in all capitals, is 14. Ghostface Killer is 13. Little Kim is 12. So they said Little Kim is a better rapper all time than Ghostface and Big Pun and Jadakiss. I love you, Kim. You my sis. But that's cap. Prodigy, number 11. I listen. Woo, don't get me started on Prodigy because Prodigy would be top 3. But anyway. KRS-One is number 10. Busta Rhymes is ahead of Prodigy in KRS-One. DMX is ahead of Prodigy. Okay, we'll get into that. Nicki Minaj is ahead of Prodigy. 50 Cent. So we're not at number 6. So this next 5 is critical because we've seen some names that could have been in the top 5. So if we guessing, the top 5 will consist of Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. And I'm curious to see who's in the top 5. So let's go. LL Cool J is number 5. I won't argue that. Rakim is number 4. I won't argue that. Nas is number 3. I won't argue that. Who's number 2? Notorious B.I.G. is number 2. And Jay-Z is number 1. Now, you can say what you want about Jay-Z. I'm not mad at him being number 1. I'm not mad at Nas being number 1. I'm not mad at Biggie being number 1. These 3 are interchangeable no matter how you want to slice it. If you want to say Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z, I don't mind. If you want to say Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, I don't mind. If you want to say Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, I don't mind. That's interchangeable. I wouldn't have this list like this. I would have Kane higher. I would have Rakim higher. I would have Coogee Rap higher. And I definitely would have KRS-One higher. Now, what is my problem with this list? Not only is Ice Spice number 50, my problem with this list is that many people on this list, and I guess we have to take the rapper word, 50 best New York rappers of all time. We have to take that literally as rappers because there's no way on this earth are they MCs by the name that we knew. And I guess these are the people who compiled the list, which all of you need to catch diarrhea and kind of shit on yourself because this list is shit. Number 50. Now, what is my overall problem with this list? This man right here is not 49, right? Pharoah Monch is not 49. So I guess they're judging it by hit records, club records, radio records, impact. But when you say rappers of all time from New York, not too many artists, rappers, hand to hand, can stand with Pharoah Monch. Diddy does not write, so he should not be on the list. Biz Markie, I love him to death. He did not write half of his first album. Rest in peace to Biz. That's my big bro. Styles P should be higher. Jim Jones, questionable pen, has some good records, but we don't know if he totally wrote everything. But he should be on the list. Grand Puba should be high. At one point in the 90s, no cipher, no symphony, which they got named when it was a posse cut, got renamed to symphonies or scenarios, was complete without Grand Puba. Grand Puba is instrumental in launching the career of Mary J. Blige. They leaned on him a lot on many records. He deserves to be higher, in my opinion. Melly Mel, he can be higher to me too. But Sean Price, that's my brother. I am biased. If he's top 5, I will be okay with that. But that is my brother. ASAP Rocky does not belong on this list to me. Kool Moe Dee should be a little higher. Nori, rappers of all time. I don't know. I love Nori to death. That's my brother. As y'all know, I'm biased when it comes to Nori too. But we've never looked at Nori for his pen. Rapper of all time, great. But for his pen, we never said Nori's pen was one of the elites. He made some fantastic records. He made classic records. He made hit records. But I guess they're not talking about the pen. Because when I show you, well, I'm going to show you in a minute. You're going to see why I'm saying this. MC Lyte didn't write. Kool Keith, love him. He could be higher. ODB could be higher. Again, with the lyrical content, he has some great records, but of all time, Foxy Brown didn't write. Jizza, I'm going to remain quiet. Fabulous. Fat Joe, questionable whether he wrote or not. Kool G Rap, that's supposed to be top 5 right there. This man is top 5 because he influenced Big Pun, Fat Joe. He influenced many people on his list. So how is he so high up? Big L belongs higher than 29. Mace belongs higher than 28. Pop Smoke does not belong on this list whatsoever. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Definitely a tragic death. Career cut short, life cut short, but he does not belong on this list at all. Raekwon belongs higher. Cardi B does not belong on this list because she doesn't write. Q-Tip is nice. Q-Tip made a lot of classic records. Q-Tip is Q-Tip, but I don't remember anybody saying rewind that from Q-Tip. Has he made some of the greatest records? Yes. But being 24 ahead of Raekwon, ahead of Big L, is a travesty. Q-Tip does not belong there, but Q-Tip is a legend and an icon, so I won't get mad at that. Run is not 23. At one point, if you are 45 and older, you might know who Run is, but Run hasn't had a significant verse in probably like 30 to 40 years. So maybe since Down with the King, and those verses wasn't even all of that, but he is an icon. Wherever you put him on his list, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to dispute it because Run is Run. Chuck D belongs way higher. Method Man belongs higher in my opinion because he's still dope. Method Man is 50 plus and still dope. Matter of fact, he got better. Slick Rick. Look how many people on his list is influenced by Slick Rick. Although Slick Rick only had one classic album where he told some of the greatest stories in hip hop history, might have inspired the storytelling style of rap, even though it was people before him, but he did it over and over, but he didn't really have that many great songs after. But the Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick is such a classic, he doesn't need them. That is people blueprints when it comes to story rap, Slick Rick. Now, Big Daddy Kane, you know that as my personal favorite. I would put him number 1, and that will never change. Rakim, Kool G Rap, KRS-One, and LL would be my top 5. Not in that order. I would have to think about it. Mos Def, wherever you put him at, if he's in the top 10, I will not complain. Cameron has had some classic, dope verses, but Cameron does not rap better than Big Daddy Kane or Mos Def. His impact has been great. But 17, Jadakiss. 16, Big Pun. belongs higher. MF Doom, if you put him anywhere where he go, I'm happy. Ghostface, they getting good now. Little Kim, as we know, like I said, I love her to death. Will never disrespect her anyway. But we heard Biggie reference vocals. Is she an icon? Yes. Is she studied? Yes. Has she been followed? Yes. Is she is who she is? Yes. But we're talking about the greatest rapper of all time. Top 50. Prodigy. Prodigy, if you put Prodigy at number one, I will not be mad at you. Prodigy, in my opinion, was the greatest rapper from New York City at one particular point. At one point, when Nas had out Nostradamus, and I felt like he fell a little bit, and he wasn't the great Nas after the It Was Written album, Prodigy was still Prodigy. And when Jay-Z was doing Sunshine and all that, Prodigy was still Prodigy. So if you ever put Prodigy high on a list, I wouldn't get mad at you. KRS-One, still dope to this day. Does he make dope records today? I don't think so. But he has enough classic records that we seen in verses. It don't matter. He's top 10. Busta Rhymes is not top 10. He's not better than Big Daddy Kane. He's not better than Jadakiss. He's not better than Styles P. He's not better than Pharoah Monch. I don't know why he's number 9. Is he an icon? Yes. Has he done a lot of classics? Yes. Has he put in his work? Yes. Has he reinvented himself a few times? Yes. But when we say rapper, I guess we're talking about all the theatrics and everything that comes with being a rapper. So if that's the criteria of this list, I get it. But I wouldn't put Busta in my top 10 personally. DMX would not go on my top 10. DMX has so many records. Is he an icon? Yes. Is he a legend? Yes. But when we say rappers of all time, DMX is there, but DMX is not a better rapper than Jadakiss to me, nor Styles P, nor Big Daddy Kane. DMX is DMX, the late great DMX. I do not ever want to make it seem like I'm disrespecting his legacy, but we're talking top 10 of all time. Are we going by record sold? Yes. But if you got DMX in your top 10, I'm not going to argue with you, okay? Nicki Minaj. Anyway, Nicki Minaj, I love Nicki. Again, that's my sister. Done a lot of work with her early on in her career. Has known her for a lot of years. I don't think Nicki Minaj even has a classic song. Honestly, she has good songs, but I can't think of one song right now that I would play 20 years from now from Nicki Minaj. One song. I can't think of one song. Can she rap? Yes. Is her content for me? No. Is her style for me? No. Does she make decent records? I guess so, if it's for you. But saying that she's number 7 of all time over Jadakiss, Mos Def, Big Daddy Kane, Big L is a goddamn travesty. 50 Cent, top 10. But does 50 Cent rhyme better than Jadakiss? I will say 50 Cent as a rapper, his impact is New York. So he belongs in the top 10 just off of that alone, off his debut album, off his mixtapes run. And that's the same thing with Cameron too, so I got to go back to that. But off his mixtape run, off his debut album, his first 2 albums, and just his cultural impact in New York City, he's top 10 off of that. Now when you get to these 5, you can do what you want. I went through that. Now, let's get to the above title of this. Why am I so perturbed that Ice Spice is 50? Well, for one, she doesn't have the body of work. Does she have an album out? Maybe she does. I only know her for one song. So these people at Complex, and you can look at these names. I don't know the nationality, the race. I can't tell by name, and I can't tell by the work that they put in the culture, and they're claiming New York. The next time y'all want to talk about New York, how about y'all get some New York natives, people who walked with some of these people who talk with some of these people, and people who have been in the studio with people who have seen astonishing things take place and magic take place. This list is flat booty meat. Straight like that. It's flat booty meat. Trash. This list is trash. You could go to top 10. I'm not mad. But let me get to the above thing on why why I'm not happy about Ice Spice even being on the list. So why am I not happy about Ice Spice being on the list? Because if you look at the list, let's go through who's not on the list. Okay? So I'm going to go and tell you who's not on the list. I can go off cap, but I'm going to use my brother B Dot from Rap Radar. He made a point, and B Dot has made some very, very wacky lists. B Dot has made some lists that we said, what the hell are you doing, B Dot? You don't know what you're talking about. But I'm going to live off of B Dot word right now because he made some points and I have to respect it. So I'm going to go to B Dot's list and I'm going to read off some names that he feels is not on the list that should be on the list. Many I agree with, many I don't, because B Dot, he can make some wacky lists, but let's go. I'm going to share my screen with you as well. So Brian B. Miller, a Rap Radar, says, for the record, the following rappers were omitted. We need a board. Agreed. Omitted means left out. ASAP Ferg is not on the list, who I don't think he deserves to be on the top 50 list. AZ is not on the list. Definitely belongs on the list. Billy Danz, subjective. If he was on the list, I wouldn't mind. But I'm going to say everybody that's on this right, deserves to be on the list before Ice Spice is 50 or Pop Smoke is on at all. CL Smooth is not on the list. My brother, Mega Montana, also known as Core Mega, is not on the list. DMC is not on the list. So you got Run with no DMC. That's like the E without the PMD. That's like peanut butter without jelly. That is like mouth. I'll leave that one alone. I'm going too far. All right, Black Rob is not on the list. Buckshot is not on the list. Fame is not on the list, aka Little Fame of MOP. Billy Danz is also of MOP. Havoc is not on the list. Inspector Deck is not on the list. And I will say, I don't even have to say anymore, because when Inspector Deck is not on your list, you are looking at robbery. So you got Raekwon, Ghostface, Method Man, and you don't have Deck, and you have Jizza, and you don't have Deck. If the whole Wu-Tang was on the list, barring U-God, maybe barring Master Killer, for preference, I wouldn't be mad. But you got Ice Spice on the list, but you don't have U-God or Master Killer. That is a problem. Joey Badass is not on the list. Although Joey Badass, all his content is not for me, Joey Badass is still dope. He belongs on the list before Ice Spice and Pop Smoke and Diddy. They don't write. Many people I pointed out on that list don't write. So I cannot say you one of the anything of all time if you don't write. Now, if the criteria for the best rapper list has nothing to do with writing, then I understand. But for me, it will never have anything to do with not writing. And I promise you, the next list that come out, B Dot, if you want to make a list, any of these people want to make a list, and I'm not involved, I want y'all to personally tell these people to suck sausage straight like that. Let them know. And y'all have the voice. Their voice don't matter. Their voice is not bigger than yours. I have 275,000 subscribers. Y'all gonna have to lift every voice and sing to Earth and Heaven ring for this shit, because they playing with it. They boxing many people out, and they trying to make the general public believe that some of our voices don't matter when it matters to many people. Joel Santana is not on the list. That's preference. But again, he would be on the list before Ice Spice and Pop Smoke. I do not want to make it seem like I'm picking on Ice Spice or Pop Smoke, rest in peace, but they do not belong on any 50 of all time lists. Lloyd Banks is not on the list. I've been very critical of Lloyd Banks, but he can rap his ass off, and he belongs on any list that you got Ice Spice and Pop Smoke on. Many people feel like Banks is top 10 in New York City of all time. Now, there's your preference. I won't argue with you if that's how you feel. But Lloyd Banks is not, and these names that I'm reading are not on the list at all, as you saw. Loon is not on the list, which when you say top 50 rappers of all time, Loon doesn't belong on the list. We're not going to do that. Max B is not on the list. Max B, truthfully has been shortchanged. His career has been shortchanged. We didn't really get to hear many solo records. We didn't get to hear or see that body of work from him to determine if he was a top 10 rapper, top 15 or top 50 rapper of all time. But in New York City, damn, I got to drink something. Max B is Max B. That's all on my damn spit. I was talking too fast. I got excited. Memphis Bleak. Memphis Bleak has had many hit records. He wouldn't be on my list personally. Shout out to Bleak, shout out to Marcy, but he wouldn't be on my list. Sorry for coughing in your ear too, by the way. I apologize. But he belong on the list over Pop Smoke and Cardi B and Ice Spice. Phife Dawg. The great Phife Dawg. How could you have Q-Tip and not have Phife? It doesn't make any sense. Q-Tip and Phife were equally, if Q-Tip was dope to you, so was Phife. So was Phife. Remy Ma is not on the list. Now, how could you put Ice Spice on the list? And her and Remy Ma might have the same amount of records. I know Remy actually dropped albums. She dropped projects. She dropped mixtapes. She has classic verses. Annie Up, Lean Back, Conceited, So Good with Neo. I can name Remy Ma songs, whatever, that I love that impact New York City. So how do you have Ice Spice on the list and Pop Smoke on the list and don't have Remy Ma? Sheik Luch is not on the list. So just fuck Sheik, right? You have Styles P, you have Jada, but you don't show Sheik any love, which I don't like, because I'm going to be real with you. This is going to sound really, really crazy. Many people are not going to agree with me, but I think Sheik Luch had better verses on many songs than Styles P and Jadakiss. One being banned from TV. No, not banned from TV. I meant to say Reservoir Dogs. I love Reservoir Dogs. I think nobody could have started Reservoir Dogs the way Sheik Luch did. Not only that, I love Money, Power, and Respect verse. I love Sheik. I loved Sheik had the best verse on there when it came to the locks. I like Jada. I like Styles. But Sheik, then they want to say that I guess the Woo Block projects never happened. I guess them D Block's mixtapes never happened. I guess Good Love never happened. I guess all the shit that Sheik did that's incredible didn't happen. And Ice Spice belongs on the list over Sheik Luch. So does Pop Smoke, so does Cardi, and so does others. Shine is not on the list. I'm going to keep it real with you. Shine wouldn't be on my list either. Shine had a good few records, but Shine is not going to be on my list. But many people might advocate for him. Many people might say Shine belongs on the list. Many people might say whatever. Me, no, tell me who want to rock with us. It wasn't my thing. I like the beat. I love Bad Boys. I didn't like Bonnie and Sean. I didn't like none of that other stuff. But the S was the S was dust was dust. I like that. I did like that Sean. I ain't going front. But it was a Biggie impression. And then when he got over the Biggie impression, trying to fill the shoes that Biggie left, what the hell was he doing? He's like, it was really weird. Talib Kweli. Now, don't judge Talib Kweli based off of his. I'm gonna come back, y'all. Don't judge Talib Kweli based off of his internet antics, his online persona, and how you feel about him. At one particular point, Black Star was a prominent group in New York City. Black Star was, they went the indie circuit, the Raucous Records, and he got Doom 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 Kweli. That's better than any record Ice Spice ever made, better than any record that Pop Smoke ever made, and any record Cardi B ever made. And we have to be real. Shine does not have two classic records, but that is your opinion. But don't come in here saying I'm tripping, I'm this, that, and the third, whatever. I think Talib Kweli antics and how people feel about his online persona is hurting how you feel about him as a rapper. Now, my brother Master Ace is not on there. Tragedy Gaddafi, my favorite rapper from Queensbridge, is not on there. Rock from Helter Skelter is not on there. Killer Priest is on the list, but I ain't going to tell you how. Because I know some shit. But Killer Priest is on the list without being on the list. He could look at the list and say, we'll just leave that like that. So, there are many people that are on the list. Redman is not on the list. Granddaddy IU, there you go, Tiger, is not on the list. My brother Ransom is not on the list. And neither are any of the brothers from upstate. Conway is not on the list. Westside is not on the list. Benny the Butcher is not on the list. 38 Special is not on the list. So again, I have a problem. No, I don't care. I don't care if he's from Jersey. Nope, we not. Listen, Redman belong on that list. Redman is an unofficial member of Wu-Tang. And if we had to do a top 50 Jersey list, right? No, we had to do a top 50 Jersey list. We don't know if we could come up with 50. So we are taking our Jersey cousins, because I will take a Jersey cousin before I take Ice Spice and Pop Smoke. Just keep it real. So we just straight up and down said anybody from upstate don't count. I like Lil Ito. Many of you like Stove Guard Cooks. He's from New York. So I take Ransom and Redman as honorary New Yorkers before I take Ice Spice at number 50. Why I'm crying about a list? Matter of fact, let me just make sure you go suck a dick, because I don't like you now. I don't like when people say you crying. I'm not crying about anything. We are talking hip hop on the birth date of hip hop. So if we're going to talk hip hop, we need to start talking about hip hop from people who can curate the culture, not people who just talk shit. I'm not making any list because I'm not qualified to make a list without my peers. No Rock Marciano. I'm not qualified to make a hip hop list without peers. So it's not that I'm crying. I have no reason to cry. I'm good. But we have people who think they can curate the culture, say what they want about the culture, and we just have to sit back and watch. There is no Tech and Steel. There is no Smith and Wesson on the list. There are people that we love from the culture that are not on the list. Buckshot, one of them. OC, one of them. Prince Poe, one of them. Lord Finesse is not on the list. Diamond D is not on the list. Parrish Smith is not on the list. Neither is Eric Sermon, Keith Murray, or K Solo is not on the list. Or one half of Daz Effects. Nobody from the boot camp clique is on the list except for Sean Price, where I am 100% biased. Wherever you put my bro, Ruck, a.k.a. Sean Price, I'm okay. And I'm going to tell you, Monte Ellis, I am glad you said that, bro. Straight up and down, many people in hip-hop was influenced by Sticky Fingers at one point. Was influenced by Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers is not on the list. So how could you have Ice Spice and Pop Smoke and y'all don't have Grandmaster Caz? Because y'all just omitted a whole class. You got Melly Mel, but there was other dope rappers besides Melly Mel. You had Scorpio. You had Grandmaster Caz. You had Devastating Tito. You had many dope MCs back then. But like I said, hip-hop keeps anointing the same people over and over. They keep pushing the same people in our face. We don't even have cannabis on the list. One of the most feared pens in hip hop history, New York. We don't have J. Rue the Damager, my Brooklyn brother, on there. No Smooth the Hustler. No Trigger the Gambler. And look, no Vinny Paz, no Necro, no Ill Bill, no Army of the Pharaohs. None of them are on there. And see, they belong to be on. They belong to be on the list. No Mike Geronimo, no Royal Flush. Again, no Just Ice. We can go on and on. We can sit here all night and have issues and problems about who's not on the list. All we have to do is say, listen, when y'all making these lists, include certain people from the culture that's from the culture. Many of you individuals cannot comprise a list because you're a journalist and you work for Complex. And I'm going to tell you, Complex, y'all move very, very wacky anyway. And I never really wanted to shit on y'all, but this is the opportune time to shit on Complex, right? This is my issue with Complex. In my years of documenting hip hop culture before all these podcasts came out, before the DVDs made the transition to the internet, I did that first. I did the first World Star Hip Hop interview. I did the first interview for On Smash. It was a site called I Love Ponage that I let them interview me first, right? Video interviews was not a thing. They wanted print. They would transcribe every interview. I brought the visuals to the internet, right? Now, everybody and their mama is doing it fine. I don't give a damn as long as the culture go forward. But in all my years of doing interviews from 2006 to 2023, I have never been on Complex. They have never did a feature article of Doggie Diamonds on Complex, nor Forbes DVD, nor Doggie Diamonds TV. They have never posted me on Complex ever. So the list is the list. But then when I start thinking about who made the list, these niggas. Now, I don't have to be on Complex because they ain't the end all be all. But you don't find something peculiar. You don't find something wrong with, after all I've done in the culture, this is 50 years of hip hop, and I have added on from 2006 to now. This brain, this mind has created a genre that all these old bum ass rappers are creating and eating from. I created a genre. I am the interview king by my peers. And now these other dudes are corporate sponsored or got these old stories that nobody give a fuck about because people don't know how to get the stories curated and make it make sense. I would have Lord Jamal on the list. So this is what I'm saying to you. They take certain people and they anoint them, and then they want people to believe that this is what's going on in hip hop. So when you're on the outside looking in, you think that this is what's going on. New York City, we know better. Complex, y'all keep fucking with you. Keep sneaker shopping. Keep eating them hot ass wings. Keep creating shows like Everyday Struggle. But when it comes to certain shit, y'all gonna have to come to the wax. Should have came to the wax. Let me call MC8. Should have came to the wax. We could have did it much better. So I would like to sit down with B-Dot. I would like to sit down with Elliott Wilson. I would like to get a whole bunch of contemporaries in my genre because, again, y'all can try to act like I'm not a part of the genre all you want. You can't do it because when you look back and you put them names in, I'm always going to pop up. When you look at certain interviews, I'm always going to pop up. When you search Chink Drugs, I'm there. When you search Prodigy, I'm there. When you search Nipsey, I'm there. When you search Granddaddy IU, I'm there. When you search AZ, I'm there. When you search Source Money interviews, I'm there. Many of the interviews that you want to see, you will never see, unfortunately, because some of these artists are deceased, and I'm the last one to get an interview with them. So how can you take me and just say I'm not a part of what's going on when you're only doing what you're doing? Because I set the precedent. But it only matters because you get to sit behind a desk, you get to hide behind a screen, you get to do shit like Zoom, like Vlad do. Shout out, shout out to everybody. But y'all need to cut it the fuck out. Heavy D is not on the list. Chubb Rock is not on the list. You know what I'm saying? So again, I do not have a problem. I do not have a problem with how you want to organize the list. But we're not going to do that. I was born and raised in New York City. Born and raised. I was outside in New York City in the 90s from 88 to 91 was some of the most dangerous times to be outside in New York City. Seriously. Crack was up. Our street gang violence was up. The police were not one. You had transit police, you had housing police, and you had regular police. They became one. At one particular time, if I did something in the street and I ran inside of the train station, the police couldn't chase me in there. They had to get in contact with transit to get me. If I did something in the street and ran out of the train station and transit was chasing me and I run into the projects, they could not chase me in the projects. They had to call housing police. So I'm from New York before it was gentrified. I'm not from the Barclays, Brooklyn. I'm from the Albee Square Mall, Brooklyn. I'm from Timberlands, 40 Below's, Brooklyn. I'm from 40 ounce drinking, Brooklyn. I'm from Don't Ride the Trains, Brooklyn. I'm from the Broadway Junction, Brooklyn. I'm from a place that for some damn reason was just dangerous. I'm from a place where I went to watch a movie as a kid and the movie theater gets shot up. I'm from that. I survived that. I come through that. And many of my counterparts, my brothers, my best friends didn't make it from that. So how dare you motherfuckers come into the culture that you are an import to New York City and say what is all time of New York? Did you go to Marcy Pool? Do you remember them shooting outside of Marcy Pool? And the safest place was in the water? You from First Atlantic? I was in Atlantic Terminals. Atlantic Terminals, where I had an apartment at, amongst other places, but I had a honeycomb. We call it the honeycomb. I had a honeycomb there. That's where I interviewed Gilly was outside. I interviewed Mr. Marcus, Petey Crack, Bozo Campbell, Graf. All came to my honeycomb in Atlantic Terminals in the projects. So we're not going to take some people and move them out of the landscape of New York City. CTC talking about South Portland. I remember when the tennis club was over there. They had a tennis club. When back before it was Atlantic Center, it was Western Beef. Pause. I went to Sarah J. I went to Rothschild. So what school did these people go to? What high school did they go to? Matter of fact, what junior high school did they go to? What public school did they go to? Talking about a whole New York City list. And who verified them? Because I can show you old pictures of me on the block with Biggie. I can show you Little Kim saying, yo, we started in your crib. Me as 15 years old. What could any of these individuals tell you? So how do you make an old-time New York list if you're not an old-time New Yorker? I'm an all-time New Yorker because I was born and raised in Brooklyn, lived in Staten Island for a while. In my time living in Staten Island, my grandmother worked in a battered women's shelter where we met Shotgun, Missy, Janola, and Terry, aka Shotgun, aka Method Man, his mother and his two sisters in the shelter. I was about 4 or 5 years old. Took him out of the shelter, his family. She moved her children, Shotgun, who's Method Man, his sister, Missy, Terry, and his mother, Janola, into Park Hill Projects in 1983. 1983. That's how Method Man got to Park Hill. That's how he got to Staten Island. He lived in my grandmother's house, 160 Park Hill, apartment 6B. Ask Capadonna. He lived on the other side. So what are we talking about? They can't tell you no history like that. Method Man, anytime he says his origins, he say it was a lady named Umi who took us out of this shelter. That is my paternal grandmother. I can show you pictures of her. That's my father's mother. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? They can't tell you that. They can't tell you any stories, any nostalgic stories of Sean Price coming to your crib, of Tech and Steel being in your house, of Aguilar. Shout out to my brother Aguilar, who's been dropping many projects. They can't tell you about Easy Mo B coming to the crib and saying, yo, I'm inspired. And like, what the hell you mean you inspired by me? They can't tell you about being in the studio with Trackmasters as a kid. Mary J. Blige walks in, Queen Latifah walks in, and Faith is on the way. And I'm sitting there scared because I'm around royalty. They can't tell you about Decepticons. Dallas Penn can. That's why I respect Dallas Penn. They can't tell you about DCEP. They can't tell you about Low Lives. They can't tell you about downtown Brooklyn. They can't tell you about each and every one of us from Brooklyn with a mouthful of gold teeth. I had tops and bottoms. Mouthful. They was not called grills. They were called gold fronts. They can't tell you about 40 Deuce when it was pimps, prostitute, double features out there before Disney bought the Deuce and took it over. They can't tell you about that. They can't tell you about that. They can't tell you about the Guardian Angels. They can't tell you about Coney Island. They can't tell you about Coney Island. They can't tell you about any of that. So who the fuck are y'all to make a list saying what the top 50 New York anything is? You can't do it, fam. So you got to get them people who lived in Queens, who lived in Brooklyn, who live in the Bronx, who live in Staten Island, who live in Long Island, who live in Harlem. You could throw Westchester in there. You could throw Yonkers in there. I wouldn't even be mad. But you imports, you people who've been living here, I've been here since 2000 or I've been here since 1998. You do not count. That's when shit was safe. It was already turned over by then. Bruce Ratner came in, bought Metrotech, and that's what changed Brooklyn. Once Metrotech was bought, and all my native New Yorkers know, when Metrotech was bought by Bruce Ratner, that was it. What you know about Ralph McDaniels? What you know about running in the house to watch Video Music Box? What you know about turning the TV to the U channel and then turning to 31? What you know about that? What you know about flavor videos with Bobby Simmons? What you know about that? Y'all know about that? Y'all know about that? Y'all know about hot videos? Y'all know about flavor videos? Y'all know about any of that? Of course you don't know about none of that. You don't know nothing about that. So how dare y'all make top New York lists without native New Yorkers being a part of it? And again, you can say, yeah, man, I grew up in New York. I'm from Bensonhurst. Family, stop. I'm from the thick of it. I'm used to coming outside and seeing Chubb Rock. Benny Boom moved in my neighborhood. Hakeem Green moved across the street on my block. And he'll tell you to this day, yo, you and your family kept me safe. I was good. He was from Orange, New Jersey. He moved to BK. It was Hakeem Green, AJ from 106 and Park, and Benny Boom all had a crib together on Washington Avenue. When they left the crib on Washington Avenue, my homeboy Mike Salmon, they call him Hawaii Mike, he had a crib right across the street on Waverly Avenue, my block. He was good, and Hakeem Green moved on the block too when he had Madism out, and they was good. They'd tell you, yo, we was with them, we was good. We could walk through the neighborhood, we was good. And like I told you on Drink Champs, respectfully, I wasn't trying to disrespect them, but the A&R for Loud Records got robbed in my neighborhood. I used to walk them home. Straight up. Yo, leave them alone, man. And I'm younger. I was one of the youngest dudes. But I was well respected in my neighborhood. Not only because I'm a staple of the neighborhood and I got lineage and generations, but I ain't just come around here. My grandmother lived on the same block for 53 years. 53. My mother and father met in the same building. My whole family was conceived in 488 Waverly Avenue. If you know about Waverly Avenue, you know about PS11. You know about PS11 Park. You know about Pat. You know about Killer Payne, rest in peace. You know about Shelt, True. You know about Burger, Steph. You know about all these people. You know about Puma Lee. You know about Lance Rivera, who be talking. That's my neighborhood. His brother Just. You know about Downing. You know about Grand Avenue. You know about Putnam. You know about the terminals. You know about First Atlantic. You know about Seven Corners. If you ain't got these stories, please, you know about East New York. You know to stay the fuck out of East New York. You know not to go to the Bronx. You know if you went to Simon's in Brownsville, you better go with the stick because it's possibility they're gonna rob you. We know what you know about LG. LG, my brother Big Fruit, the Real Big Fruit Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, the Real Big Fruit Podcast. My brother Fruit, 23 years in prison. I grew up with World. I grew up with Fruit. I grew up with Butter. I grew up with Peter Rab, rest in peace. These is all my peers. We went to school together. Peter Rab, Lorenzo Jenkins. He's in one of the same classes. So how could Uncle Murder was my artist at 12 years old. His name was Baby Taz, coming to my crib from the Pink Houses. He was in a group called the E&Y Clique. So what are we talking about? So how dare y'all make a list without including people who could really curate the culture of old time of Brooklyn? Old time of Brooklyn. I used to go to Cold Chillin' Records every day of my life. Every day. I used to go to Cold Chillin' Records. Hop the train to go to Cold Chillin'. Walk down to Atlantic Center, which is now Atlantic Center, but it was Atlantic Avenue train station where they have the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the N, the R on the 6 at Atlantic Avenue train station. There was no 560 State Street, but I remember when Jay-Z moved there, Lord Jamar was living there first, and so was Tone from the Trackmasters. 560 State Street. The big clock always been there. My dentist is in the big clock. My dentist was in the big clock. I went to Sarah J. Shout out to all my Gowanus homies, all my Wyckoff homies, all my Red Hook homies. What you know about going to the Duffield or Metropolitan? Movie theaters. What you know about juniors? You know, we don't even eat juniors in Brooklyn. We was eating that beefsteak Charlie's down the block, which is now Applebee's. What you know about junior? We ain't rock with juniors like that. There was a movie on 7th Avenue. If you went straight up Flatbush, this is where Foxy Brown area was at. Flatbush and Carlton was another movie theater. We used to go there because we couldn't go downtown. That's where I saw Juice at. I remember them yelling in the movie Juice. And I ain't going to say who it was, but it was somebody well known. And they was in there yelling and screaming. And I said, yo, all y'all better shut the fuck up. That ass serious. So again, what y'all know about robbing the kids from Lachlan? No, I should say. We ain't do that. You know about digging pockets. You don't know nothing about that. What you know about Beat Street Records? So let's go hip hop now. What you know about Beat Street Records? Downtown Brooklyn. What did you know about the Wiz downtown Brooklyn? What you know about Music Hut downtown Brooklyn? What you know about Music Factory? What you know about that? What you know about that? I was always in Beat Street. The DJs in Beat Street was DJ Goldfingers from Wyckoff, my man Goldfinger. DJ Goldfinger was a DJ in there. Damn, from Connecticut. Craig G. The DJ Craig G was in Music Factory. Because I never forget, I seen this light-skinned girl. Not that she wasn't light-skinned, it didn't matter, but she had I remember she had on orange fingernail polish and orange lipstick and with a short haircut with orange, but it wasn't Ronald McDonald-y. And I'll never forget, just like, damn. But Goldfinger was the DJ in there. Later on, DJ Self became Naquan, Nene, that's my family. They started rapping in the house. Look, Little Kim is in Slick Rick Teenage Love video. That's by the Department of Labor on Pacific Street, right down the block from Sarah J. Go look at the black and white video of Slick Rick Teenage Love. Little Kim is in the video by the Department of Labor on Pacific Street. No, that might be Dean. But it's Dean in 4th. What do y'all know about Triangle Sports? That's where we got all our Carhartt from. That's where we got all our Carhartt from Triangle Sports. So y'all thought it was the LB fam, shout out to them doing the Carhartt, but we had Carhartt before everybody. Triangle Sports was imported, had the Carhartt. Y'all know nothing about none of that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. What y'all know about the Bazaar? What y'all know about Crazy Eddie? Oh shit, look at that. The universe is perfect. Anthony Allen, Crazy Eddie, PC Richards, The Wiz. But let me go back to Beat Street because this is where I grew up. This is where I was coming buying Ultimate Breakbeat records. When the Breakbeat record, the vinyl was $22. I bought the case at $15. Yo, let me get all them records. All them records. One of the members of Junior Mafia, we was in the same class, Red. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see my post dedicated to Junior Mafia because that's my family. We from the same hood, same OGs, same everything. That's my family. So remember, the issue is when you have these lists, they don't know nothing about Red Bandit. They don't know about Beat Street Records. They don't know about Goldfinger being in. They don't know about my homie, DJ LS1, who was Scoob and Scrap DJ, who became DMX DJ. DJ LS1 was my bro. He had oh man. Remember when DMX raced somebody and whoever lose had to put on a lipstick? That's DJ LS1. Used to come to my crib. So again, we could make Newmark and Lewis. All right, I'm out. Newmark and Lewis. I used to know all the jingles. I love music so much. I knew all the jingles. I knew the commercials. Crazy Edda, these prices are insane. The Tennis Club. The Elks Club on Fulton and Franklin. One Flight Up. I'm out. If y'all don't know nothing about One Flight Up, I don't even want to talk to none of y'all. Was y'all at the Ark? Was any of these people at the Ark? Was they at Maze? Did they go to McCrory's? Did they know what Conway's was? Not Conway the rapper. Conway's is where you went to get your toiletries. Went to get your deodorants and all that. Because there was no Target. There was none of that. There was Conway's. Pratt. Ryerson Park playing basketball. St. James Towers, where little Kim lived at, that was right down by LG. What are we doing? VIM, Jeans Plus, Speedy Sneakers. I can't tell you about none of that. They can't tell you about none of that. They can't tell you about Kwame coming out. They can't tell you about special ed. A&S, Abraham and Strauss, which is now Macy's. Can't tell you about none of that. They can't tell you about KP. If anybody's a real Brooklynite, when I say KP, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't even got to say the full name. I just say KP. Anybody in the chat that's a full-blown Brooklynite, when I say KP, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody say Caldor. Pincheck. Remember Pincheck? Remember Pincheck? Right there. But when I say KP, you know what KP is. So, again, Kings Plaza, there we go. Artwork. When I say KO, where you going? KP, all the way over there? Damn, you got to take the bus. Kings Plaza. See, we didn't have that many malls. We had downtown Brooklyn. We had KP. We had Flatbush. And you had Brownsville, that Pick and Ave shit. You got to fuck over there if you want, though. Simon's turned into S&D's. Pause. Paragon. So again, cut it out. Listen, have they ever heard Utica, Utica, Utica? If they never heard that, get the fuck out. Don't make no list, fam. You never heard Utica, Utica, Utica? You never heard Utica, Utica, Utica. You never heard Utica, Utica, Utica. You never heard that. So how dare you make a list about Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Harlem, the Bronx, and you never heard Utica, Utica, Utica? Utica, Utica, Utica. You don't know about the Autobots? You don't know about the low lives? See, because if you're going to talk about top 50 rappers of all time from New York, you will have Thurston Howell on the list because he is influential. When you see people doing this, when all these rappers, when you see Sadat X and you see all these rappers doing this or doing this, that's Thurston Howell. That's Thurston. B-Cat. What you know about DR period crib? You ain't even got the staples of the culture. Anyway. So as y'all see these lists, what? Oh, I'm gonna give you one more before I go. What you know about ooh? If they call your shit a ooh, it was cool for a little while, but Murray's Corner, that's where you got them Wiley's at. The fish market was next door. Listen, Flex in Brooklyn, we was young, but them girls was dancing. Listen, what you know about ooh? If you never heard that, ooh was if your ass had on a triple fat goose. They started calling your shit a ooh. And that's when triple fat goose went out of style. You know what else went out of style? 8-ball jackets. Tom D's was another shopping area. You're absolutely right. Broadway. Fat Albert's. You went to Fat Hours to get your linens and get your toilet seats and your bathroom shit. How many of them went to Thomas Jefferson? How many of them went to automotive? Who on this list went to automotive? Who on this list went to Thomas Jefferson? Who of them remember ticket? Where was ticket at? I'll let y'all tell them in the chat. Where was you at when you heard ticket? I could just say name. I could just say stuff, and my fellow Brooklynites and my fellow individuals from New York will tell you exactly where those things took place. Ticket. So how y'all making lists without any of us? What you know about the Franklin Avenue shuttle when you needed the ticket? What you know about Spike's joint? What you know about Not Ray's Pizzeria? What you know about Crown Fried Chicken and Kennedy Fried Chicken? That bullshit we used to eat. What you know about Champion t-shirts? The t-shirts was first. We couldn't afford the hoodies. The hoodies cost too much. What you know about models? What you know about the shuttle? Y'all wasn't on the shuttle. Y'all ain't take the shuttle. Y'all don't know nothing about taking forever. The R train taking forever. Them yellow trains, the R, the N. Them shit's taking forever. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So what the fuck are y'all talking about? How y'all making shit? What y'all know about 4 hairy chicken wings and fried rice being $2?
4 hairy chicken wings and fried rice
being $2. You can't get no pork in the rice. Can't get no chicken. You damn sure ain't get no shrimp. You'd be lucky if you get a bean sprout. $2. And you wanted ketchup and hot sauce all over that shit. What y'all know about that? They don't know nothing about it, but they making lists. Y'all making lists? What you know about the A train going express on you? What you know about getting off at Hoyt and Skimmerhorn because you got to catch the C because the A about to go express? The next stop after Hoyt and Skimmerhorn is Nostrand. So you'll end up all the way in the star somewhere from downtown Brooklyn if you don't get on the C local. What you know about that? You don't know nothing about that. So please stop. Stop. What you know about No Pork Chinese restaurant on 4th Avenue? 4th and Dean, right by Sarah J. No pork. You go into the Chinese restaurant and you say, Salam alaikum to Chinese people. They were Muslim. It's still there. What you know about No Pork Chinese restaurant? They didn't cook no swine. They were Muslims. No swine in a Chinese restaurant. Anything you ate in there, you knew was kosher. What you know about that? You don't know nothing about that. No Pork is called No Pork Chinese restaurant. That's the name of it. So what the fuck is y'all talking about? What y'all know about the country house? Do you know about the country house? Do you know about tokens? Was these motherfuckers around when they had tokens? Oh, the halal on Bedford and Fulton, all the way from Franklin and Fulton to Bedford and Fulton. Come on, man. The halal spot? But you had halal too on Fulton Street. What you know about Birdell's on Nostrand? What you know about going to Notion and Fulton and the KFC being right there, and you going all there? This where the Travel Fox was at. This where the Suits was at. This is all of that. Come on, man. Let me go. What you know about the GG train? And this shit wasn't that long ago. I just know y'all wasn't outside. So that's why you put Cardi B on your list. And you don't know who Buckshot is. That's why you put Pop Smoke on your list. And you ain't got Master Ace on your list. You can't tell us who had an impact on New York if you're not a native New Yorker. Period. And that's all I wanted to say. That's why I'm bringing up all this nostalgia stuff. Oh shit, not to live in the past, because it is what it is. But if you're not a native New Yorker, you don't know. What do you know about being able to take your car on the ferry?